Hey everyone, so this is DJ Savvy, and I am, or this is, I guess, this is going to be kind of a, for the most part, unedited video, and it's more of like a stream of consciousness conversation that I'm having with you guys, with my audience, in regard to something that happened to me when I was working a festival a couple of weeks ago. And the purpose of this is not really to shame anybody, but the purpose is more so to bring light to the things that happen to artists, and I guess more specifically, given who I am, to female artists in the scene. And it's more so to analyze the situation and break it down, and then also like encourage people to do better, and recognize the, I guess, the harassment of women that happens in the scene on a fairly regular basis, and is kind of just expected of us to take it with a smile. And that's a narrative that I want to bring attention to, and also to create change in the scene, because I don't think it's right. And as someone who's experienced this, I want to educate people as to why it's not right, and then also encourage people to do better. So that's kind of the purpose of this. Tuck in, because it might be a bit of a longer reel. But I'm going to post a screenshot of a text thread exchange that I had with a gentleman. I wouldn't call him a gentleman, a person who is a man. Certainly not gentlemanly behavior coming from him. And the exchange was basically, I had posted a picture of myself. I was in, my Saturday night gala outfit, or Friday night gala outfit, whatever. And, it was a nice picture. And I received a lot of compliments from people on the picture, which I was, very grateful for. It's always nice to receive compliments from people on looking nice, and, compliments from men, which I don't have a problem with compliments from men, generally speaking, as long as they're respectful. And that's the main thing. So I received a text from a man that I've never met before. I have no idea who he is. I can't even recall if I've ever seen him before in the scene. We're friends on Facebook, which, that term on Facebook is used very loosely. So we're connected on Facebook. But again, I don't have a personal relationship with him. I've never had a conversation with him, never had any kind of interaction with him before. And he sends me a message, which I'll screenshot here. And he sends me a message. It says, the pussy goddess of the year. And that's a translation from French to English. And, I let it sit. I let it percolate in my brain for a little bit before responding. And then I just kind of responded, and I said, this comment is inappropriate. And I said, don't ever message me like this again. And then he responded to me, and he basically tried to flip the script on me, and making, instead of his, completely unprompted message to me, he tried to flip the script on me and make my reaction to his completely inappropriate and unprompted message the problem. And so, as a little thought experiment, and just a little bit of a fun exercise, I took a screenshot of it and I put it into ChatGPT. And I just asked ChatGPT, I gave him the situation, and I said, okay, this is, a person that I've never interacted with before in my life. Like, dissect this interaction and tell me all the ways that this guy is trying to gaslight me and manipulate me into thinking that I'm the problem rather than he's the problem. And so I have a little bit of a dissection here that I'm going to walk through with people. And so it's, first, it broke it down. It says the initial comment. So, le pussy goddess de l'année. So, this is inherently a sexualized comment. And the fact is that he was, it's not a compliment, it's a sexualized comment, it's sexual harassment. And he's trying to cloak it as artistic or cultural by using an explicitly sexualized English word. And it only has one meaning in the English language. And I think the irony is that he's trying to educate me on my own native language, that I'm the one who's misinterpreting it, that I don't understand my own native language. So that's kind of the first thing. And then number two, his first manipulative move was gaslighting me through misunderstanding. So he said directly to me that I have misunderstood the meaning and I misinterpreted it very badly. Well, as we already stated, the word pussy only has one clear meaning in this context. It is a sexualized word, and especially like if you're speaking to me in French and you choose specifically to use this one specific English word, there's only one meaning, there's only one interpretation. Like, I cannot be misinterpreting this. So he's shifting the blame to me and implying the problem isn't what he said, but it's how I interpreted it. So he's denying the fact that it actually made me uncomfortable, and he's using actually his own pseudo-cultural justification as a smokescreen. So he said, in France, we say this. And so as if that justifies him using that sexualized language to a complete stranger. So he's reframing the harassment as a cultural misunderstanding in order to escape his own responsibility for the words that he said. So the next thing that he did was deflection and minimization. So he said, it's a term that's very broad to say goddess of the year, not the real meaning of the name pussy. So he basically, like when he's trying to explain what he was saying, he basically removed the word, which is the word that is the problem word in the first place, and saying, oh, it just means goddess of the year. No, like if you wanted to say just goddess of the year, then you could simply just say goddess of the year. There was no reason to include this sexualized word in your compliment, which it wasn't a compliment, it's sexual harassment. So deflection and minimization. He's trying to sanitize his comment after the fact, pretending that it was meant as praise or artistic expression. But if it was true, he would have chosen non-explicit language from the very beginning. So it's not a true apology, it's just rationalization for the words that he used. Number three was that he had a backhanded apology that really wasn't an apology. Sorry if you took it in that sense, it didn't even cross my mind. This is not a real apology, this is a non-apology because it places blame on me and my perception, not his action. So sorry if you took it that way. He says, I'm not sorry for what I said, I'm sorry that you reacted. So this is defensive invalidation, and it erases my right as a woman to set boundaries for how I will allow people to interact with me. The next is victim blaming and character attacks, which I thought this was the most hilarious to me. You are in the artistic world and you don't know how to filter words or take every word with a smile. So he becomes hostile and patronizing and suggests that I should accept sexual comments as part of my profession. And so he implies also that I'm unfit to be an artist because I have boundaries, and take every word with a smile. It is emotional manipulation because it's an attempt to enforce compliance through guilt, as if kindness and smiling through it equals silence. So he implies that I'm the one who actually needs to change and not him. He says, frankly, you need to change jobs because, you know, as a woman in the arts, apparently I should just roll over and expect to be sexually harassed, and not only expect to be sexually harassed, but also to take this sexual harassment with a smile on my face as well. So anyways, at no point in this exchange, which is a very brief exchange, he doesn't take any accountability whatsoever. So he doesn't acknowledge the sexual nature of the comment. He doesn't take responsibility for crossing a line. He doesn't express remorse, and he doesn't commit to changing his behavior. So I want to say, like, I wasn't actually, like, I really don't care, you know, like this didn't bother me because, yeah, to a certain extent you do kind of expect these kinds of things. I don't get it a lot. I would say I get it a little bit. I don't get it a lot, but at the same time, the purpose of this video, or the purpose of this exercise, is to dissect what's going through this guy's mind, but also to educate people, like, why this is not acceptable, why we shouldn't, as female artists, have to accept this with a smile on our face, you know, and just shining light and awareness on the situation that when you do get into the artistic world, in this Kizomba scene that we're living in, you do, and as a female artist, and I mean, I'm not a male artist, so I can't speak to that experience, but like, as a female artist, that people think that they can just speak to you this way and treat you this way, and that you should just suck it up because you're an artist and take it with a smile. And I just, like, really feel like this kind of entitlement to treat women in this kind of demeaning way needs to change. And so I just wanted to, like, bring a light to this and shed a light on the kinds of things that we as women in the scene, you know, who are artists in the scene, are dealing with on a regular basis. And again, this was a very, very mild example, and something that truly didn't really bother me. Like, I very easily could have just ignored it and let it go, but except for the fact that it just highlights the level of disrespect that women in general have in the scene. And so I guess my message for people in the scene, and I don't know if I really want to, like, because I don't want to contribute to gender wars, but like, people in the scene, but also men in the scene, is, you know, like, you need to do better, because speaking to women this way, treating women this way, is not acceptable, and we shouldn't have to tolerate it. The fact is not that, like, it didn't bother me, but the point is that, like, I shouldn't have to put up with it. And so my point is that, you know, people in the scene, and maybe more specifically men in the scene, need to do better when it comes to treating women and female artists with respect. So that's my little rant for the day. Thank you if you made it through it. And I don't know, like, tell me what you think in the comments as well, and we'll see where this goes.